Businesses don't get into trouble because they refuse to comply. They get into trouble because they don't even know what to do and when they are exposed. Hmm. And by the time the tax authority reach out, it is no longer a discussion. It becomes a compliance issue. Hello, good evening. My name is Sola Oduwole. This is Madam Compliance, and we are with us live now with tax keys with Madam Compliance. Today, we are going to be talking about compliance, what every business needs to know before the tax authority knocks. So we'll be discussing all the compliance, requirements a business, especially the SME, needs to needs to know, needs to the books of the records they need to keep in in meeting the compliance requirements. So I will be welcoming questions in the coming sessions. If you want to ask me question, you can put it in the comment section, and I would answer as soon as it is practicable. Let's start this way. Why this matters to business? Why compliance matters to business owners? So for me, compliance is not just about tax. It affects your ability to grow. It affects your credibility, access to funding, and the business community. Many business operate without issues until they have to provide tax record, corporate filing, financial documentation. Like I said, some business you can run your business for years, and you may not even have any reason to maybe put your documentation in place. But let's look at expanding. Maybe you need to get a license, you need to get some maybe get funding for funding, or you need a loan from bank for expansion. These are where the now start coming up. Want an expansion, and the people that really put money into your business are asking you for documentation. That is where compliance comes in. We can ask you for your tax record, and you have, I've not been doing this. You start running every task getter. We can ask you for your corporate filing, your CAC documentation. Like I said, CAC documentation, I think I said it at the last live session. That documentation for corporate company, corporate affairs commission does not end at registration stage. There are still some requirements which we'll be discussing in this session. So they might ask you even for your financial statement. So all these things are what we need to look at and see where your business. At the end of this session, we should be able to know whether your business is actually compliant, or you still need to get some documentation right in your business. So let's talk about the corporate structures and the CAC filing. Every registered business has a corporate obligation to the Corporate Affairs Commission. The moment you register your business, the business become a legal entity in the eyes of the law. And then once they recognize you as a legal entity, you need to start putting all your records in place, and then every year you file your CAC annual returns. Annual returns does not only mean filing with the with the tax authority. Annual returns to the Corporate Affairs Commission too is also very important. And you need to update your company's information too. Take for example, when there's a change in your address, which is you understand that by the time you are registering your company, maybe you are moving, you are still operating in a very small place, and you move your headquarters or your business to another location. This information has to be updated at the Corporate Affairs Commission. And if you don't do that, if you need it or you go to a bank and you want to open an account or something, and the address on your CAC documentation is different from the address you are putting down on the form. So you need to update your record. And if you have a change in status of your company, you still need to register with the Corporate Affairs Commission. Also, you need to every changes that comes on your company, whether for shares, for address, or change of ownership or whatever, or the share restructuring, all these things needs to go back to the Corporate Affairs Commission to for record and to update your record with the Corporate Affairs Commission. Many SMEs register a business, but forget that compliance continue. Like I said, it is not only when you register. Your registration is the least of your compliance issue with the Corporate Affairs Commission. You need to at every point in time put your record straight with the Corporate Affairs Commission. Every year you need to file your annual returns. And in all honesty, these are things that are very easy to do. But if you don't do it, the day you will need it, if it's 10 years, the CAC is going to collect their penalties. If it is anytime you come forward, they will start calculating the penalty from the date which you have not filed. Why not do it and keep everything, and by the time you need it, you will bring it up, and you don't even have an issue. We have a lot of it can be even on CAC website. What if you are looking? I'm just giving an hypothetical case. If you are looking for an investor, if you are looking for an investor and the investor will want to see your maybe go to the Corporate Affairs website to look at whether you are it is reading inactive. That's a credibility issue on the part of the company. So all these things you may feel it is not important. It is where you need them that you know it's important, which is why I said it is always is your business is very good for you to comply at the very earliest stage now where you are. Compliance is cheap at this stage, but by the time it starts getting to we are doing late filing, penalties are accruing, and it's always very difficult. For that for CAC, I will now look at the compliance, which is the second compliance we are going to be talking about, which is the tax obligation. Um, I've always I think I've been we can't emphasize the fact that the the recent tax reform has changed a lot of things about compliance with tax. Before the tax authority can be chasing after you. But with the new tax reform, they don't even need to chase after you. They know how to get their money from you once you have not once you are not in compliance. So it is better that all these things business must meet various tax obligations. Businesses must meet various tax obligations with the tax authority. And we have the income tax filing, which everybody knows about. That whether if it's a company, you file your company's income tax. Like I think I said it that once a business is registered, it becomes a legal entity, and everybody will it's a legal entity that needs to file. You as a director in the company, your filing will be different from that of the company. So it's in some cases there might be some overlapping, but for the company, it's the company's income tax to the federal Nigerian Revenue Service now. That is what they are being called, Nigerian Revenue Service. And for the personal, maybe for the directors, you will file your personal income tax in your respective state internal revenue service. which is that is the respect. When I talk of respective, they were talking about the resident, the state of because tax is paid in the state where you are resident in. We have for the business, if you are within the threshold of filing, you have to file your VAT registration, you register for VAT, and pay your VAT as at when you and collect the documentation that you have filed withholding tax deduction. We have the withholding tax deduction. The withholding tax, like I said, is when you give out contract and the company you are giving the contract out to is not a small company within the definition of Nigeria, the definition of small company with the Nigerian Tax Act, uh, which is I think the 100 million and below, which are they are exempted. We still need to withholding tax return. If the company is below above the threshold, you collect your you withhold tax. But in this case, I would just advise you, it is better you even, because most companies you may not know that they are maybe whether they are within or above the threshold. Once there is a transaction that has withholding tax element, it is better for me. It is better to deduct it, except the company can give you evidence that they are below the threshold for collection. Because if you don't deduct and eventually it comes back to you, the employers related filing, that's for the for your employees. If you have employees, pay their payee and do their annual returns for them. You do the annual return, and I must say that because you do the annual return as an employer does not exempt your employees from doing their own too. It's a two-factor thing when it comes to filing of annual returns in employers and employee relationship. For the employer, they are going to be filing what they paid to you in the previous year. And for you, you are going to be filing that's the employee now. You are going to be filing what was paid to you, and including every additional income, even the one your employer may not know about. It has to be your global income as it is at this point. So um everybody under the new tax reform has an obligation of compliance when it comes to filing. So common problems with the taxes, the late filing, like I said, you can have some. You can there are deadlines for companies. Your tax year, at the end of your tax year, you have 6 months to file your company's income tax. And for the individual, it's even by the end of 31st of March, which is about maybe in a week and a half times. You have to be filing your annual return, or else by the 1st of April, you may be in you may be um, you may be in error, and the tax authority can come after you. So there is also having correct filing. In some cases, there are errors, and maybe it can be something you don't know about. Maybe it's just a genuine error, or those are compliant. After you file, you still have to look at it. If there's anything to correct, you can quickly reach out to the tax authority and tell them. So there's an error on this on my filing. You omitted something, and you can reconcile and make your payment immediately before it got to the issue of penalties. When records don't align, that means when your record don't align, it raises questions with the tax authority. It is very germane to always make your record, whatever if you maybe last year you have declared an income, and this year they ask you again, maybe the tax form is asking you, or your account is not aligning with what you submitted to the tax authority in 2025. So those are the things you need to work on. So we talk the compliance number three now is record keeping. In every business, record keeping cannot be overemphasized. You need to keep your records. This is where business, a lot of SME struggles. They struggle a lot when it comes to record keeping. We have this idea of it's my business, is my money, and joining everything together. It's the same business account that you put your personal expenses, you put your own money, you put the business. So you cannot actually demarcate between what is your money and what the business is actually is earning. So there's a lot of struggle in this part. So we need to we need to keep a lot of record. Make your record very clean when it comes to compliance. You need to be able to say, this is my documentation for this company. And some people run two, three businesses, and you will not even be we have three companies registered with the CAC, but you cannot even demarcate that this is the business, this is the record for this company, this is the record for the company. This is so all these things need to be demarcated, because if you don't, it always raises the issue. You should be able to show your sales record. I think I've said that your sales record you should be clean and clear. This is what I'm earning. This is my sale. This is my profit on this. You should be able to give your expenses. If you pay your staff, this you should know what your expenses is, what your staff payroll is at the end of the month. How your bank transaction should be something you should at least have a very standardized transaction. Keep all record, your payroll details. It should be clear. You have your tax filing, your receipt, the receipt for your any receipt you get from tax authority, whether copy or hard copy. I would suggest that you should have, in this age of digitalization, you should have a cloud where you store all this. In many cases, the issue is not that tax wasn't paid. It is because most business cannot prove it. Your tax for your receipt, when the tax authority come and where is this payment for this time? You will not be able to produce it because you don't keep record. Your every document you get, you should be able to scan it to your cloud, or there should be a system where you keep everything, and once they request for it, you are able to bring it out. Those are a lot of they are not difficult. In all honesty, they are not difficult. It's just for us to be sure that we are keeping the right record at the right time. Also, another area I will be discussing is handling regulatory attention. So if your company is like I said, if you get notices, let's say your business get notices, query or request for information from tax authority, not even it's for businesses that are licensed. There are some licensed businesses that you get notices, queries on the request for document from those authorities. Maybe let's say, for example, the Nigerian Revenue Service sent you a notice. You don't ignore those notices, because the fact is that most of those notices comes with deadlines, and once you don't provide those records within the deadlines that have been given, it may become an issue, and you won't know. The mistake of ignoring those notices or delaying the response, or even when you respond, there are some responses that goes to regulatory authorities. Maybe I'm trying to look for a typical example. Maybe they requested for you to send your evidence of payment of tax. Let's say evidence, and I have paid my tax in 2025, 2026. Just put it on paper, no attachment that this is evidence. Just write it. They won't believe it. The fact that nobody will believe you by what you wrote down without evidence of those payments, which is why I said you must keep record, and your record should be something you can. lay your hands on. Immediately the tax authority asks for it. Let me just pause here and say, please, if you have any question, you can put it in the comment section. I think I said that earlier. I will be willing to respond to it. Don't let's continue. Delaying. You can't delay. You can tell there is still time. If you say there is still time, you may forget. You may forget at every point in time, and at that point, because of the exigent, the importance of other issues, so you will forget, but immediately you get it, don't just delay, don't delay, respond immediately and attach all right documents. If they ask for your license, don't say yes, I have a license. Your letter should not be yes, I have a license without attaching copy of that license that they have requested. Or they've requested for a receipt which you know you have paid, and you say yes I have it, but without giving document. Most of the time tax authorities or regulatory authorities just ignore and see your business has been unserious, and this could lead to a lot of compliance issue, issuing of penalty, and sometimes even the straining of closing the business for a while has been non-compliance for something you actually have. So delay turns a simple issue. Delay can turn a simple issue into a very serious issue, something you should have taken away immediately, and you delay or you ignore can make those issues big, very big, and you start paying penalty. They may seal up your business, and won't even know what to do. Practical compliance checklist, that is what we will be looking at now. As a business owner, ask yourself this following question. Am I filing up to date? Can then look at it. If you know in your heart of heart when you are up to date in what you are supposed to be doing. You know when you are up to date and when you, but ask yourself, from after this session, what am I going to do? What should I do when my filing is not up to date? When I feel my filing, you talk to professionals. What can I do to make this thing correct my errors? What do I need to do? Are my company's record current? If you need to obtain a license up to date, if you need to pay your tax, your CAC document, your CAC returns, are they up to date? Those are the things you should be looking at. The CAC filing it's so simple to do, but if you don't do it at the right time, what you need to do, it may be an issue. Like I said earlier, if you have an investor, maybe from other countries, the first place they will go to check your credibility is the Corporate Affairs Commission website. And if they go there and they are seeing inactive in your company, in the status of your company, they will just assume that you are how to do them, which is not your intention. So let your record be current, let your record be up to date. Do another question you ask yourself, do my tax record align with my transaction? You may have very high transaction. Let me give an example here. You are bidding for a contract of 100 million, and they ask for your tax record, and you are giving them a tax receipt of 2,000 naira. Says the correlation is not there at all. The correlation is not there. Let's even say 20,000, and this person wants to take a contract of 100 million and bring it. So they will just say, this one is not serious. So let your tax record align with any transaction you are doing, or make your business upgrade your business, make everything plain. So another thing is, can I produce documents immediately if requested? And like I said earlier, once you get any document from government, whether you feel it is relevant, irrelevant, or is not even, it's better you scan it, upload a soft copy. You should have a software or high cloud. You can upload this, upload them on it. So that by the time you need it, it is easy for you to bring out. You don't need to be running a circuit and saying that, and I kept this document. And when you keep document like that, um store them in a very meticulous way. Let them have a name those documents. Put the maybe this is the tax receipt for May 20, payee receipt May 2026 or March 2026. Put a date. By the time you are looking for them, it is easy for you to get them rather than making everything clumsy for yourself. So if once you do that, you can produce those documents immediately. You know where to go to, you know what to put, you know the month you are looking for. So it's always easy. If you have to start searching, then there is already, like I said, if you need a job and start moving about, where did I put this thing? That means there is always a compliance gap for you. So I would um, advise everybody on this, no matter how your business, no matter how small you feel your business is, no matter how small, have at least a form of standard record, not even something very up there, but know how you can, in your own little space, you should know how you can keep your record and make know where to get it. If you want this is where I get it. If I want this is where I can get it. So these things should, depending on the on the on your business, on how your business is growing. If you start small, start your business very small. If you if it's going to be something, if you are going to be upgrading later, you can upgrade. But if you start your record keeping small, and by the time you are moving forward, you are growing with those records. You are going, what if tax authority now come, maybe you start your business in 2024, and by 2030 they're asking you for a record of 2024. If you tell that I can't locate those records, I can't, or any regulatory authority are telling that, they'll just look at you as an unserious business. But if you have every record, documents scanned into your cloud or anything, your records are there, and it is making things easy for you. It's make things, once they ask for a document of maybe 6 years ago, and you can bring it out, they will know that this is a very serious compliance business. So I would implore everybody to keep record. Compliance is not something you fix when there is pressure. Once there is pressure, once there is pressure when you are fixing compliance, that means there is already an issue. There is already an issue. So make it simple for yourself. Make things simple for yourself, and make it enjoyable. At times, like I would agree with you that at times compliance can be very boring, and keeping record, you get tired. But don't make it make like I said, start small. Once you start small, you can move on from there, and go and move on, and keep increasing your pace. Move as your business is growing, you increase. As your business is growing, it's something you can start. Like I said, there's no end to it. By the time you go into maybe into a big company with 100 million shares, by then you have people that you can assign to you. But if you are still a small business owner, whatever you can keep yourself, keep it. The ones you think you cannot do on your own, get an expert to do them for you. Don't keep do your business in isolation. You need an expert, so you need to work on your compliance, and especially for small business owners. And this thing again, it's not even for your personal thing. I understand that some small business cannot even say this is the amount that I am getting, I am making this in a month, because you have mixed your business money with your personal money. So you can't, what if you keep record, your sales record are clean, your bank transactions are are very clean. You don't have a personal account different from the company's account. It makes things very easy for you. So I think it's going to be very good for you to start your compliance. Start small. I'm going to be saying that start compliance small. Start compliance small, and from there we can move forward. There are a lot of things around compliance, and in the next month, maybe we'll be taking topics or by maybe topic by topic and be treating it because compliance is very well, and I will be able to. But these are, like I said, what we have discussed today. They are the basic compliance requirement every company should have. So business that stay compliant avoid unnecessary penalty. You can operate with confidence, build long-term credibility. Don't wait for the knock. Prepare before it comes. That means don't wait for don't wait for regulatory authorities to come before you start looking. By the time they come and you look confused, you have already you're already in breach. So I am saying, when you are in doubt, ask experts, consult experts to help you with it. Whatever you are not clear with, don't run your business in isolation. You are not. The fact is that I understand that everybody wants to make money, but making money, you still need to spend money to make money. So when you expert, talk to an expert and let them advise you. I won't. I think I will spend and our time is far spent now. So we would, if there is no question on the live session, I would say thank you everybody for joining today. I can see my coach Tracy. Thank you for joining. Ronka Oresoya, thank you for me. Thank you, and every other person I have not been able to call this moment. Thank you all for joining. And next session, we will be focusing more on each of those compliance we need to get right as a business owner, especially for small businesses. We'll, 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 we'll be talking about it. And thank you today. And God bless you. And bye for now. Thank you.